So guys, I've read all the messages and I've seen all the comments on here on the YouTube. I've seen all the videos, and of course I'm talking about the videos and comments about Zack Snyder, the articles. Yeah, man, I mean, I thought I was going to make a really lengthy video about this, but then I read Stephen Colbert's response to this, and he basically, I'll put a link to the article, you guys could read it, but I share the same sentiment, man. In my opinion, Zack Snyder has just never got these characters. I feel like he definitely just showed up to set and he was like, hey, this is what I think Superman is. This is what I think Batman is. So this is what we're going to film. He never got the ideas of Superman. I mean, I'm a huge Superman fan. That's like my favorite hero. My friends really thought that I was going to love Man of Steel, and I thought I was going to love Man of Steel. When I saw it, in the minute that he let his father die in a tornado, I was just over it. I was just like, this asshole just doesn't, he's another one who doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. The reason why Jonathan Kent dies of a heart attack, granted, I'll give you, if you're like one of the guys who are like, well, actually, no, I'll give you Brainiac. He had a lot to do with that. But a heart attack had to happen to Jonathan Kent because it was something that Superman could not stop. With all his powers, he can't stop things that are just inherently human. He cannot stop us from dying from natural causes because we're human. We're fickle. We are fragile lifespans. Like that's the point. Like at any moment we could go and he can't stop it, and that's what really fucks with him as a character, because he really does want to save everybody, but he has to let humanity be humanity. He can't step in and play God. And so the mere fact that his dad died of a heart attack is part of the idea of Superman. Like, he can't stop it. This man has all the powers in the world and he can't stop a heart attack. He can't save his father from death. Something so human. But Zack Snyder didn't get that because Zack Snyder never picked up a comic book and read. And I very much doubt that he read the Dark Knight, which he based BVS off of, because again, the ideals of the Dark Knight isn't like, oh, Batman's gonna beat Superman for the first time. Side note, he doesn't. This book, or those books, are literally about two good friends agreeing to disagree about two different opinions on the same subject. Literally, while Batman, oh my god, is that somebody honk your horn? Literally, Batman understands the whole time that Superman won't hurt him. He knows he won't hurt him, but the reason why he builds the suit is because he wants to go a couple rounds with Superman. And that's why he asked Green Arrow to come in, because Batman also knows at his old age he can't hold a gun and shoot straight and hit Clark. So he has Arrow to come in and do this this kryptonite arrow just so they can talk the way Bruce is used to talking. Because Clark talks with his words, Bruce talks with his fists.
Bruce, this is idiotic. That was 3 ribs, Bruce. Don't make me do this.
Mortality. Don't worry, you'll survive. The kryptonite will work its way out of your lungs soon enough.
Bruce, your heart.
Remind you to stay out of my way. In all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
Bruce!
So really what you're looking at when you're reading this comic book is not just a fight. It's pretty much Bruce telling him, like, hey, I know you're patrolling the world. You're doing the US thing. But look at these streets, man. I hung up the cow and look what's happening to my city that I fought so hard for. So you know what? you guys might not believe that mass vigilantes help the city, but somebody's got to do the work, and I'm going to do it whether you like it or not. And it's pretty much Bruce trying to get Clark to realize that. And eventually Clark does. But at the end of the day, this is a brother's fight. These are two men who are best friends, who love each other, who are fighting to the bitter end. Even at the end, when Clark believes Batman is dying and another guard comes in to like help him with the scene, he berates this guard. He yells at this guard and he's like, "Stay away from my boy. This is my home. This is me and him. This is what we're about." Like, so it was never about like this weird philosophy that Zack Snyder comes up with where it's like man versus God. No, that has nothing to do with it. And the mere fact that he jumped into that without building the relationship of Batman, and then they were forced to try to force that years of working together in Justice League to make it seem like they're cool with each other. It was just dumb. He just never cared. So, in my opinion, Zack Snyder could sit down somewhere and stop complaining, because really he's the director that he's literally the definition of failing upwards. I don't know any other director that could literally fail, and you guys can look this up. Like, he's opening box office weekends, like domestically, he's never made money back for the company. Like, he's failed. And for him to talk like, "Oh, well, the Warner Brothers had me feeling like we were going the wrong way," because you were going the wrong way. Nothing you did was working. And this goes to every other thing he touched, with the exception of 300. And the only reason why that worked is because Frank Miller was there to freaking make sure he didn't go off the deep end. And that's why they didn't work together on BVS, is because Zack Snyder didn't like having somebody there correcting him. He loves being around, like, I believe his wife is like one of the producers, and his friend or somebody else, who knows. But like, he likes being surrounded by yes men, people who are afraid to like let him know when he's doing something stupid. And so that's how I feel about Zack Snyder and his little comments about Batman using guns or his version of Justice League. And to be honest, everybody out there who's like, "Oh, I want to see the Snyder Cut," you don't really want to see the Snyder Cut, because if you wanted to see the Snyder Cut, you would have went to go see his movies. And if you look at the numbers in the box office, nobody went to go see these movies. Like, they did horrible in the box office, which is why Warner Brothers was freaking out every time one of these things came out, and why Suicide Squad had so many edits, why Justice League had so many edits, because nobody was seeing these films. So it's hard for me to believe that everybody all of a sudden wants to see a Snyder Cut of Justice League, where nobody was going to see a Snyder Cut of anything. But yeah, guys, so those are my thoughts on Zack Snyder. I mean, like, there are two comic book directors on this planet I just can't stand, and that's Snyder and Bryan Singer. Man, these guys are just trash in my opinion, but that's how I feel, guys. Let me know how you guys feel about this whole Zack Snyder thing and everything else. So yeah, guys, thanks for stopping by the Nerd Militia, where we read comic books and do dope shit, and I'll catch you guys later.